Underneath the quiet veil of night, a dense fog winded its way through the dim-lit streets of a Los Angeles suburb. A whisper of unease seemed to hang in the air as a young woman named Lisa arrived seeking a fresh start. Her luggage had scarcely settled in the dusty corners of a decrepit apartment before restless murmurs began to scrape at the edges of her consciousness. They were mere nothings at first, but within the walls, old secrets breathed and a stronger magic wafted toward life. By the light of a flickering bulb, Lisa discovered cryptic carvings sketched into one of the walls. A chill skittered down her spine as shadows pirouetted menacingly at the periphery of her vision. Tranquility turned to restlessness when an unruly night yielded to quiet thuds emanating from her wardrobe. A dread drenched the room as she opened the closet to find nothing more than the whisper of her own name curling in the stale air. Seeking answers, Lisa approached Martha, her elderly neighbor, whose wavering voice warned of the apartment's perilous past. Stories of a sinister disappearance clung like cobwebs in Martha's memory, leaving Lisa with more questions than comfort. Internet searches unveiled a dark tale from decades past, a gruesome whispered crime that left a girl torn and lifeless in the building's basement. Nerve-gripped and spirit-weighted, Lisa felt eyes upon her, even as she spied nothing but timidly crawling darkness in the corners, the whispers growing in intensity. One fateful night, terror painted her mind as a weeping girl pleaded for help in her dreams, a spectral finger tugging her from slumber. She needed answers, and her resolve carried her to the basement's marrow. A sacrificed altar with remnants of bones and blood-forged sigils met her gaze. At the police station, Lisa spun her tale of horror and discovery, only to be met with cynical disbelief. Yet the officer's dismissive anecdote of inexplicable disappearances in the area burrowed unease deeper into her heart. Desperate for clarity, she stumbled into a peculiar bookstore where the proprietor, Elizabeth, whispered tales of an ancient curse that tainted her temporary home. By night, the shadows grew bolder, whisper turning to ice creeping her veins, freezing her in place. "Escape," scrawled ghost-like on the mirror's fog. Desperation gripping tightly, she reached out to a sealed room where arcane symbols whispered the promise of long-faded rituals. Haunted, tormented shadows reached out to touch her very soul. Amid the spectral maze, Martha unveiled secrets she'd long harbored. Attempts to break free had only ended in devastation. Unearthed, a letter from a past tenant roused ominous portents of an imprisoned spirit. Urged by Elizabeth's stern warning, Lisa realized the urgency. Imminent nights would see shadows muster dangerous strength. On the precipice of dawn, Lisa's breaths dragged heavily under invisible weight, her silent scream lost beneath vow-shielded darkness. The climax surged. Buried beneath the floorboards lay a clandestine door, opening upon a macabre archive of past tenants, the grisly truth drawing her, a prisoner yet untouched by the cursed hand ready to claim its prize. Lisa found herself in the dark basement, desperately searching for a way out. The doors slammed shut one by one, as if the shadows themselves conspired to trap her. A strange force compelled her to ascend to the upper floor, her heart pounding against her ribs with every step. Her sanctuary turned into a realm of terror, and she knew she had to face the imprisoned spirit to free herself. Gathering the arcane tools she found earlier, she steeled herself for the ritual that awaited above. In the room where shadows whispered of forgotten fears, Lisa began the ritual. Around her, the shadows gathered strength, reaching for her with chilling intent. Yet, her resolve burned brighter, warding off their icy grasp. From the depths of the night, the spirit whispered enticements, weaving lies of eternal comfort if she would only stay. But Lisa resisted, knowing the deception that lay within its words. Her mind turned inward as memories, long buried, surged forth, horrors of the past, experiences she yearned to forget. It was a carousel of despair, threatening to drown her in fear. Amongst the chaos in the witching hour, the spectral child from her dream appeared, urging her to the secret engraving, an ancient glyph that promised salvation. Behind a hidden wall, she found the truth. The inscriptions were meant to bind the spirit forever, and it was not yet complete. Time was her enemy now, with dawn threatening to break. Back in the basement, the first rays of light seemed to battle back the shadows, but Lisa sensed something more sinister lurking beneath the curse's surface. The spirit returned more forceful than before, seeking possession, yet the child guided her with the words, a chant of protection. As the ritual drew to a close, the spirit was freed, yet Lisa felt an inexplicable bond with it, a thread of fate entwined tightly around her soul. She sought Elizabeth for advice, who offered one final charm. Use it only as your last refuge, she admonished. Lisa recited the final incantation with fervor, watching in awe as the shadows swirled and receded slowly, like fog vanishing in the dawn. The child smiled warmly, a silent farewell as she faded away, hinting that the end was near. Peace washed over Lisa as the shadows disappeared entirely, leaving her in tranquility, the curse seemingly broken. Returning to the police for closure, Lisa was met with a cryptic void. The officer who pledged to help her had vanished without a trace. Packing her belongings for a hasty escape from the city, a glint on the floor caught her eye, an enigmatic object that shimmered ominously.